As always on the show, Dr. Nikolaus Eberl joins us. He's a 2010 analyst, and he's going to share his knowledge as we talk about what's making headlines around the World Cup. Good afternoon. How are you doing, young man?
Good. Thanks, Angelo. Great to be here.
Listen, your commentary in Business Day about the secrets behind the Olympic success. I mean, there's the controversy around the celebration by Bolt and the fact that he might have overdone it a bit. What are your thoughts?
Well, he was heavily criticized by IOC boss Jacques Rogge, who actually came out saying that he should have turned around, he should have tapped the losers on the shoulder, he should have shaken hands. Now, what do you expect? It's the biggest race in the history of Olympics. He wins it spectacularly, and the crowds love him. So I think there's nothing wrong with the way he celebrated.
Just, a question. One thing that did strike me, though, in the second race when he won, he actually took his shoes off and he held them up and he kissed them. Now, I'm being a cynic here now. I'm going to say to you, possibly his manager said, Nike will come and chat to you if you pick up your running shoes.
Well, obviously, sponsorship is a big issue.
Yeah.
And in fact, he punted Puma heavily during the games. But he's a phenomenon. I mean, he's not supposed to be a sprinter at his height. Yeah. He's 6'5". He's worked for 2 seasons on just, his coach made him work on 2 elements only, leaning forward and running the bend. Okay. So this boy has worked very hard for his success. And I think we should celebrate excellence, we should celebrate performance and look into the secrets of success from Jamaica.
Now let's take those secrets that, well, I guess we're going to have to unpack them, but let's bring it to 2010, let's bring it to FIFA World Cup happening here. What can we learn from that Jamaican experience and what can we learn from Beijing? What lessons are there for us there that we can use?
I think from Jamaica, they've been very single-minded. They're focused on one discipline, which is track. Out of the 42 medals, 41 come from track and field, especially sprinting. Yeah. And they have built up a culture of track for nearly 100 years, going back to 1910 when they established an open championship called Champs. So what we can learn for going forward for 2012 in London is that we need to focus. It's not an issue of money. It's an issue of focusing your mindset. And they call it we little but we talawa. We are small, but we're very powerful in Jamaica. We need to create that mindset and attitude for 2012 and certainly for Bafana Bafana 2010.
Now let's look at 2010. We've got football. Are we saying do we focus on defense? Do we focus on attack? Do we focus on the team? Do we get government to throw buckets of cash at this?
Well, I think what the previous World Cups have proven is that if you focus on establishing a system, like Germany and Klinsmann did in 2006. Now, Klinsmann focused, he realized he didn't have the best players. He didn't have a Ronaldinho. But he focused on fitness, on getting his players to such high levels of fitness that they could outlast their components. And he hired an entire team of American fitness coaches, much to the dislike of the German media. So where is our competitive advantage for 2010? We do not have the Ronaldinhos, but certainly there are certain secret weapons that we can engage.
Okay, so secret weapons. I think every country's proven it. If they start at youngster age, 6 and 7, identifying the talent there.
Totally.
What should we be doing?
Totally. We need to establish open championships nationally, very much like the one in Jamaica, Champs, where they actually engage youngsters from the age of 5. And you find on many strips of open land in Jamaica, these youngsters challenging each other. So it's a whole culture of competition. We need to get down to grassroots level, we need to get down to school level, and we need to get down to that age level.
So we're talking about not so much the national, or the teams that are currently in the leagues now. We're talking a general groundswell of development happening.
Absolutely, because we need to develop, I would say, a 10-year vision for Bafana Bafana and soccer in the country. To say, 2010, what is a vision? Can we make the top 8? 2014, going forward, 2018, the second next World Cup, what should the vision be?
So, I mean, in your mind, are you saying that possibly we're not ready for 2010?
Well, I think, other than Germany, who set out the vision to win the World Cup in 26, I think that's setting the aims a little bit too high. But we should definitely set the aim at making the top 8.
Okay.
So that should be the aim for 2010, and then prolonging it into 2014, Brazil hopefully making the semi-final.
Let me ask you this question then. We're sitting, we need cash. The world, I mean, our Olympic performance has shown up a couple of issues there. Where does the money come from? Does it come from private sector? Does it come from government? Is it a mix?
Well,
Does there need to be a fund?
It should definitely be a mix, government and private sector. And to engage the private sector, we need to, and we did it before, we need to focus on one or two disciplines. We've done it with swimming. We had great success 2004 in Athens. And if we can, and they attracted a lot of sponsors. In fact, Roland Skuman was offered 59 million US for swimming for Qatar. So once you win, once you're successful in one discipline, then people want to sponsor.
Okay, Nick, we're going to call it quits there. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks, Angelo.